Welcome back to Rebel Ants Radio. My name is Kevin, joined as always by my co-host, co-pilot, co-founder, Miguel. Miguel, how are you?
And himself. I'm great. Nah,
Man
I'm good.
himself. Yeah,
How are
everyone's
you?
been asking about Miguel. Where's Miguel? And I'm like, he's there every week. Same thing.
I'm here every week. Same thing.
Well, we have a few people joining us tonight, so either welcome back, or if this is your first time watching, this is our Build in Public video podcast for the Rebel Ants multimedia conglomerate that we are growing to be. But we do have a few NFT projects that are live now. You can head over to rebelants.io, pick up Rebel Ant, or you can go to jeremypets.com and get a free NFT over there. And we are excited to be back with you, just catching up. Miguel and I just shooting the shit, and we're happy to do it on camera and see what y'all thinking. Feel free to subscribe to the YouTube channel, give us a like, give us a thumbs up, give us a shout out. I don't know, give us money, whatever you want to do. Just do something. Miguel, how was your Thanksgiving?
Give us something. My Thanksgiving was good, man. How was yours?
It was pretty good. There was a COVID issue, which changed all the plans in our family. So
Really?
let's not forget that COVID is still a thing and wreaking havoc on parts of the world. How did you feel after the last F1 race today, knowing that there will be 90 plus days of no race?
It was very sad.
It was sad. It was sad. It was a pretty boring season when you zoom out and you're like, all right, this guy won almost every race and it is what it is. But I enjoy watching the race.
What I hated the most was that Hamilton just really sucked this last one.
Yeah, he didn't end on a high note by any means. So I wonder what next year will hold for him and Mercedes. Maybe they'll
really
be
angry about
more
that.
Competitive.
He signed another contract for like 3 years, so he's not retiring.
No, he's not retiring. I saw something on Instagram that allegedly he had reached out to Christian Horner of Red Bull asking about joining the team, which I don't know how legit. I mean, Christian's saying it was the case.
He's not going to Red Bull. Stop.
He's not going to Red Bull, but I guess the exchange was there.
Total Wolf will not let him go. By the way, if I ever have a kid, I'm naming him Total Wolf.
Total Wolf?
That. Such a strong name.
Yeah, speaking of which, when are you having a kid?
Never.
Go ahead. Give us an answer.
Nope. Let's move on.
Nope. No answer.
No kids.
All right. You and we had a big week. You were texting me frantically.
Was it frantically?
What day was that?
I don't remember.
I don't know. It was early in the week.
Monday.
You were texting me frantically on Monday saying, yo, wake up. This shit's big.
And you didn't even wake up. You answered me like 100 minutes later.
No way. Dude, I will pull up these texts on screen right now. I was looking at my computer already. It was seconds later. I can't believe you would even try and do that to me, knowing that I've got the receipts to prove it.
I don't know about that.
Okay, you ready for this?
Are you ready?
God. All right, go ahead. Why don't you share some news, and then I'll share the truth of the timeline here.
What do you mean the truth?
The truth.
We've been selected for our artwork to be displayed at NFTNYC 2024.
Hell yeah.
Out of actually, when they sent me the email, it was like 4,000 people that put in for it, and now it's up to like 6,000 because it's still receiving inquiries. Yeah, 7,000.
Let me just pull this up on the screen here. So this was the email that you got.
Yeah.
Miguel, your work has been selected to be displayed at Artist Village at NYCNFT 2024. Tell your friends. So, Miguel, first of all, congratulations. That is amazing and impressive and well-deserved. Sure. What were your initial thoughts?
I thought it was spam at first. I almost deleted the email. That's really what happened. I was like, what the hell is this? I almost deleted it. But no, it was real. So, we're going to NFTNYC. And you know what's funny? When I submitted the drawings, like, I didn't think we were going to get selected. I just submitted it just to submit it. Just to put
it out there, right?
Yeah, and here we are. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
So now what happens is they select the drawings that are going to be in the billboards in Times Square. So hopefully they select one of ours.
That would be amazing. How
cool would that be if they select the soldier ant with the USA colors? Couldn't be any more cliche than that.
Yeah, I thought it'd be great if we could like now submit new art to be on display, right? So you could really pick something that's either more modern or like, all right, now I got to really like show something off. But you think it's just the piece of art that you submitted, right?
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome, and now I have real incentive to go. So I
Yeah.
will
Did you
I
get your
will
ticket
secure a
yet?
ticket. I would get a ticket. I haven't yet, but I will
Like
get
what?
a ticket.
You have not gotten the ticket yet?
I will. I just
Okay.
haven't.
Well, you know what, Kevin, stop buying NFTs and buy the ticket,
I
please.
I tried to buy an NFT today. It didn't work. We'll get into that.
Yeah, because
But
OpenSea sucks, but we'll get into that later.
so let me ask you, from your experience last year at this artist village, what is that experience like? If how does somebody come upon your art or the art of Rebel Ants? Is it just a bunch of screens, or what is it? Like a museum?
Yeah, it's sort of like, think about it like a museum. Yeah, everybody's just walking around looking at all the art. I'm not sure exactly how it's going to look because I know they change it almost every year. So last year it was on the screens, like the sort of like the screen in the background that we have here, the token frames, and
Yeah.
it was pretty cool. Like it has the QR code; people are able to scan it, buy the art at the same time, or go to the website or whatever it is that we put on there. But pretty cool stuff. So I can't wait to see what it looks like. I'm excited. I'm super excited.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for you. This is, obviously something you've been working on for almost your whole life as an artist. So to get this recognition and this exposure is really
Yeah.
cool, and maybe it means something, really great for us also for our project.
And I remember explaining, because you have to, when you submit the art, you're supposed to explain the art. So I think when I submitted the ants, I explained the simplicity of it and why it's so
Mhm.
simple. And the meaning behind the ants and our project. I also mentioned the podcast and all that, and us talking to other artists and creators and giving them exposure. So we'll see where that bio takes us and how they're going to display it on there for our brand. So we'll see.
Yeah, I will show up with a QR code on my shirt so people can buy some NFTs as they look at your art and say, "Yeah, I want one of those." Just scan me, buddy.
Scan you. That's it. That's all they got to do.
All right, listen, I'm going to put up our text from that morning because I just want the truth
Here we go.
to be on the record. Now, tell me again, you said how long was it till I responded?
I don't know, like 100 minutes later.
100 minutes later. Okay, here is the text message. 6:14 a.m. on Tuesday. OMG, 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 OMG. 30 exclamation points. Wake the fuck up. I said, what? I'm up, bro. Now, this text came in at 6:14. I'm going to right click and hit show times. What time is my response? 6:14. The same minute
I
that
don't
you
recall.
text me, I text you back. The
I
same
don't,
minute.
I don't recall that.
So you know what? You're a liar, and that's fucked up. And then you sent me the screenshot of that. I said, "What, dude? What the fuck?" You're like, "Oh my god!" I'm like, "That's incredible! Congratulations!" You're like, "OMG!" So, yeah, it was a very exciting morning, but you did lie about the sequence of events, and that is, that's a naughty, naughty thing of you to do.
Fine, I take it back.
Okay, speaking of text messages, you started texting me later this week, and you're like, check this out. And it was this insane looking 3D ant. And then you posted one of them on X.com,
Sure did.
on X. So let's pull up what you posted there because there's a lot of these, but we'll only show this one. So you said, good morning, happy Thanksgiving. We hope you enjoy this day with your loved ones, yada, yada, yada. Bam, here's this badass looking 3D ant, fire, swords, gear, helmet. Like, how the hell did you do this?
Pretty cool, right?
So cool. Like, I want one of those. I don't know, like in real life or a toy of it or a poster. I don't know. I just want
I want one walking with me all day. You know what I mean? Like my bodyguard. That's what I want.
Yeah. I can feel the texture just from looking at that,
Yeah, it's so cool. And if you zoom in, you can actually see like texture on the clothing and all that. It's pretty cool.
I don't know if I can zoom in on this, but anyway, so just give me a little sneak peek. Like, how did you do this? Where did this
I'm
come
not
from?
telling you anything yet.
Oh my god.
Just know that it's a lot of Procreate stuff, a lot of
Procreate.
AI stuff, And
AI art.
um, it's it's a mixture because I didn't. Some people you like to use AI art and just put it out, but as we seen in the Asuki debacle on the second release that they did, how
Yeah,
stupid it looks. Right, so you have to clean it up. There's only so much that AI can do for you, so you have to clean it up. You have to look at every single detail, make sure that the computer does it correctly, right? Um, and then you kind of put in your own touch, like the fire.
you put that fire in there.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool, right?
It is pretty cool. So again, not giving away too much, but like, how much time did you have to spend editing this versus the original output from the AI?
Um, maybe 2 to 3 hours, just looking at the details because you have to look at. Sometimes like AI will create a sword, but it'll create a sword like looking stupid. It'll put it like in front of it, or
Yeah,
like it would just look weird and stupid. So you kind of take the idea and just fix it. That's basically what you do. You have to look at every detail: the shoulders, the hands, the arms, the swords, the face. Make sure that everything is 100%. Whatever's not fixed, then you got to fix, and then you put it out. But it takes about 2 to 3 hours for you to like really shoot one out. If you want the fire like this one has there, it's probably like a good 4 hours just to get the details right.
crazy man.
And
What
the lighting.
and the lighting? Yeah, what were your thoughts on like what do we do with these? Because you have almost 100 of these.
I have 300 of those.
300 now. Okay, you've been working.
So it's
Great
going to be
comment
crazy.
here from Latin Knight says that's fire. Literally, I agree.
So yeah, so I'm gonna keep working on them, and hopefully I wanted to see if we can do a collection of 2,222 of them. What do you think?
2,222. That number sounds familiar because I believe the Saints of LA have 2,222. Is that correct?
That is correct.
This is an homage to them. Okay.
It is.
I love it. Now, is there anything to do with them in terms of utility, or are you just going to create 2,222 of these and then release them as basically one of ones? There's no shared trait of like
No,
fire
there's
sword on
there's
multiple-
shareable traits. There's shareable traits.
There are.
Yeah, they are, because this is what I'm doing in Procreate. So I'm moving some of the traits around to make it look like the same stuff on there, so that we're able to put traits and rarities on them.
And so you can isolate those swords and say, okay, let me put these swords on a blue ant.
You can, but it's not easy. You have to like delete the sword, repaint, copy it, and move it somewhere else, and then make it look good. But it takes a lot more than just like cutting and paste.
Yeah. What's really cool about this one is that on the arm guards, like the forearm, is like a fire texture on top of it that looks like it's part of the armor, just as the design, versus just like fire as part of the background. So it just looks so cool. Like it looks like it's bending with the arm. It just looks incredible.
Yeah, I got the idea from the fire actually from another painting that I saw on Google, which was pretty cool. It wasn't 3D, but I saw how the guy kind of drew it. So I just kind of learned from there how to navigate that. Plus, the classes I've been taking, the art classes, are helping polish my skills.
Yeah, it looks super legit. Did it come out the way you thought it would, even with the editing you had to do? Like, did you, hit the go button and you're like, okay, this is what I thought it would be, or was this?
It was exactly what you thought. The first one that popped out were very like stupid looking, cartoony, and it was just weird. And you have to constantly continue to change it until you get it right. And then once you get it right, it's trying to mimic the same exact thing over and over again. Right. So it's not as easy as everybody think it is. AR art is not something that's easy unless you're doing like one of ones and you're just putting out whatever dishes out. That's really up to most artists is what they do, but I'm doing something different. So we'll see how it comes out, but I thought that the first glimpse of it looks pretty cool. We're still working obviously on V2. I had to change the bodies. So V2's it's still in the works. I just finally selected what kind of ink we're gonna go with. And yesterday I finished the bodies that it didn't sit the way I want to. It's just, what the problem is, that being an artist, the more you look at something, the more you want to change it, until you kind of say to yourself like, all right, stop, like
just move on.
Just move on. Let's put it out, right? It's kind of like that bad scene, good scene kind of thing, and you're sitting there looking at your own art, and you're like, your little thing there, and this doesn't look good. Let me change it, or hey, let me add this more, or hey, let me do this more. This is what's taking so long.
Well, I hope it's worth it. I don't know what you're doing. You won't even really show me a finished product, so.
Sometimes I show you glimpses here and there.
Glimpses. I've not even seen a full image of like the drawing and the art yet.
Yeah, you get it.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. I got other things to do, okay? I don't need your art, okay? I got things to post. I got videos to cut. I got a lot going on my end, okay?
Like this thing you told me to buy today?
Oh, we're going to get into that. All right, well, definitely keep us posted. I'm really curious to follow along not only the process of using the 3D art with the AI, but also just like the evolution of it. Like, what does the final version look like, or how variable are these images? Because you probably sent me 20, 25 different ones, and they all look different. They all look amazing. And I'm like, I want those. So I'm really interested to see what the outcome there is.
I'm going to record how I'm changing the things on using Procreate, because I think it's important to show how not the genuine, but like the what do you call it? Like the personal touch, right? How I'm doing that on it, and how I'm creating the layers and all that stuff above it and connecting it. So I think it'll be interesting to see how artists are working with the AI, and how they can intertwine it with your real life painting. So
yeah, I have a feeling there's a lot of demand out there just for videos like that, for content of making 3D AI art. So keep us posted. I want to see it. So I bought something earlier in the week. I bought an NFT from the Saints of LA collection.
You finally became a saint, huh?
I finally became a saint this week. And it was only after I lost $100 in ETH from messing up trying to get another NFT. And I got so frustrated. And I was thinking, okay, I lost 100 trying to buy something. If I were to spend another 100 to actually get the thing, I would have spent $200, which is about the price of the Saints of LA. So I was like, do I want to spend another 100 that maybe won't work again? Or do I want to invest in something that I feel pretty good about? The community is amazing. There definitely seems to be some progress and determination there. So I aped in. I got this bad boy here. I got Hooligan 1319. Very happy with this one.
Yeah.
And I liked the hair and the beard, and I liked the Saints logo on the shirt. I know it's like from the Supreme inspiration, but there were some other designs on other shirts that I saw that they had, but this one I really liked, and so I grabbed this one. And of course the floor price has dropped since I bought it, because that's what happens when I get involved. So I'm sorry to the rest of the Saints out there, but I'm sure it'll rebound. But I am happy with my purchase. I like this guy. I like the eyes. There's some rarity in here. The shirt is a 3%, and the mullet bandana 2%. So I feel like this is a good one. Good NFT.
Good catch.
So what I was trying to do originally was I was trying to get into this Friend Pets. So Friend Pets is like the Tamagotchi that everyone's talking about right now. And there's some way to like make money through battling and taking care of your Tamagotchi pet, keeping it alive. The problem is, like, to get one is a bit of a weird process. So you can't buy it on a website. You can't buy it on a marketplace. Well, now you can actually buy some on the marketplace. But the instruction from them is to add a web page as a web app to your phone home screen. So you go to like the friendpets.xyz, whatever it is, friendpet.xyz, and it says add this as a web page, web app to your home. So I did that. Then it says you need to get 0.045 ETH on Base. Now, Base is a network as well as a coin. So what I did was I transferred ETH to Base, and then I sent Base to the wallet that you get in the app to then like to mint the friend pet.
Yeah.
Now it turns out I was doing that wrong. You're supposed to just be on the Base net to then make the ETH purchase, and I can't get that money back that I sent to that wallet address because it was already converted to Base, and then it doesn't go anywhere because it's not a matching.
So what happened? So basically, what happened to your ETH then?
It's gone. It was converted to Base. I changed I changed base coin to this address, which only receives ETH, so I burned it.
Oh, well, that sucks.
Yeah, the instructions not clear at all about what base is talking about. It's not saying the base mainnet or anything like that.
Yeah.
So I blew it, and that's when I was like, "Oh man!" Like I knew something was wrong after like 3 minutes when the funds didn't appear, and I'm like, "This doesn't seem right." So I was like, "Okay, do I try this again? Maybe get it right for another $100, which would be $200 then, or do I just spend $200, feeling a little bit better, like I've got something in my hand, you know?"
Yeah, that's when you told me about it, I was like, oh God, here we go. Kevin is getting rugged again.
It's not a rug. I mean, I think that this project is not sustainable because of the way they're giving out money.
Yeah.
But I was like, all right, if I can, turn 0.045 ETH into something more than that, then that's a win. But instead, classic, I lost. I lost the money.
Unbelievable. Hey, before we move on, I wanted to tell you, like, we really need to do something because this week I've been really talking to a lot of people about crypto, and even NFTs, right? And there's still so much that people don't know. So I feel like we need to do a show on how to create a wallet. Just maybe showcase it and kind of record it and throw it out there, right? Maybe we could do something like a Coinbase wallet or something like that and just record it.
I like that idea. Little tutorial.
Because the more I'm out there and the more I'm talking to people, the more that I see that so many people still don't know how to handle crypto or how to handle the wallets and stuff like that. So I think that they need a little help, and maybe we could just educate on how to do that.
Yeah. Let's post if you're watching. I'm curious, what would you, as a watcher or listener, be interested in having a tutorial on? What's something that you've struggled with or haven't touched because you're like, it just sounds too complicated. So let us know in the comments what would you like some guidance with, and probably not from me. Maybe Miguel would be the one to do that because I keep screwing it up. Anyway, yeah, I like that idea.
Yeah.
There was a couple things that happened over the last 5-7 days with some marketplaces that I thought we should just revisit. Something happened with Blur, and then something happened with OpenSea. So I thought we would quickly check in on those.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, let's start with Blur. So Blur recently released, they ended season 2, which is like, they have these seasons where they're monitoring your activity and then you get rewarded with Blur coins. And they do like an airdrop based on your activity. And so, there's Blur farming and things like that. But they also announced a new product, a new service called Blast. And Blast is, let's pull this up here. Blast is their L2. It says the only Ethereum L2 with native yield for ETH and stable coins. Airdrop now live. So this is interesting because this seems to be an actual advancement in the technology of L2. So typically an L2 means that it's a layer 2 blockchain sitting on top of a layer 1, right? So Ethereum is a layer 1, and L2 would be something that's built on top of Ethereum. And what's unique here with Blast is that with typical L2s, when you buy a coin or you do an exchange on there, you're transferring basically Ethereum to the L2, and then the L2 does what it has to do with the conversion. And the Ethereum just sits there, like it's just in a holding pool, and then the conversion coin is what's used to do the transaction. With Blast, what's happening now is the ETH that's being used to then be converted to Blast is actually going to be staking, essentially, and earning you money because it's being used. And that's why I'm saying you get native yield. So you'll actually be earning money based off of the ETH that's sitting in that holding pool, which is actually a novel usage for all these L2s. There's a lot of L2s out there. This is the first time that there's a process where you can actually get money you can actually be rewarded rather by staking on that transaction there. So that is a big advancement. It's not happening just yet. They're right. They're saying get some early access, but right now they're trying to collect those funds, and that's what's going to be used as well to help power the L2 and also reduce transaction costs. But you'll be rewarded just by staking anything. They're saying if you stake now in the early access, you'll definitely be rewarded with an airdrop. So it's interesting. It's good to see some advancement. It's good to see some new products and just people moving the ball along.
Is this something that you would do?
I I don't honestly even have like enough that I'd want to just dump it in here, because there is a little bit of risk of saying, what if the conversion gets screwed up? What if something happens to their pool, their holding pool?
Mhm.
But a lot of people are already acting on this and staking ETH. If I had like 20 ETH sitting around, I'd probably dump half into this just
Yeah.
to let it go. I mean, Blur is a big deal. Blast, any services that they put out seem to be pretty well thought out, well constructed. Nothing is a guarantee, as we know, but I would have some faith that this is not going to get screwed up.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta say that I've used Blur a couple times, and I think that they're really pushing the envelope, and I think that they're gonna really give OpenSea a run for their money.
Yeah, when I got that Saints, I did it through Blur because, of course, they're not on OpenSea. But it was a very seamless transaction. It was very easy. I like the way that they present all the items within a collection and just kind of give you a good overview of that. So definitely
Yeah.
appreciated using Blur. Okay, let's move on to OpenSea. So some funny stuff happened. Hold on, let's see here.
Some funny stuff is still happening with OpenSea. I couldn't buy something today.
Some funny stuff is still happening. That's right. So there's a project called Fatzuki. Okay.
Oh, I heard about this. Yeah.
So there's a project called Fatzuki, and the OpenSea Twitter account or X account made a post on November 25th, so yesterday, at 4:39 p.m. It says still full, and it's pictures of Fatzuki, right? So basically promoting this project. Now, what also happened shortly after that was, oh no, I lost the tweet. Hold on. There was a large sell-off from somebody named Green George. Now, Green George, you can see, sold those Fatzukis for 0.005.
Yeah.
And if you look at the project, you'll see that right before that tweet, it was sitting at 0.001, essentially, right?
Right.
Somewhere around that 0.001. It then climbed all the way up to 0.01. And Green George sold them off. Now, Green George, turns out, is an intern at OpenSea. So when you have somebody from OpenSea, or when you have the OpenSea account post a project and then somebody sells it off, this guy was essentially pumping his own bags, right? So he's saying, look at this project, get some interest, and then bam, he goes and sells them off. He sold off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And for such little money, right? He got $10 for each of those. He got $70 out of this. OpenSea has since deleted the tweet, which just shows you, like, okay, there were some problems here. But I was like, oh, come on, OpenSea. That is so dirty. And that makes it hard to trust anything they're doing, right?
Makes you wonder what else they're doing.
Exactly. It's hard to trust that. So I don't know anything about Fatzuki other than they didn't have much activity before that, and then they had this nice little spike here.
I wonder. I've always wondered how they pick those projects that they like push. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we've talked about it before in some of the other shows, but I don't know. I don't trust them anymore.
I know. It's hard.
Weird.
It's hard to know. It's hard to know anything, right? So yeah, that was interesting. And then yes, you and I were going back and forth before the show because I was saying, hey, I'm trying to buy this glass punk.
Wait, before we move on, so did they fire the intern?
I don't know, but the tweets are gone.
And was it really an intern or was it really somebody else?
I don't know.
Exactly.
I don't know.
Mystery.
I know
that
you
we're
love a
going
good
to find out.
Yeah. So anyway, I messaged you saying, hey, I'm trying to buy this glass punk, but it won't let me. Because right here you can see in my wall I got 0.07. Floor price here is 0.035. And when I try to buy one, it's telling me that I don't have anything I have no balance. I can't do it.
Yeah, it was telling me the same
transfer
thing.
funds to your wallet. And you were getting the same issue, right?
Same message. Yeah.
Well, OpenSea, once again, making it really hard.
Maybe we've been banned from OpenSea. We're jumping ship, going to Blur.
Jump and ship, that's right. We are going to swim in the open seas, head over to Blur. Unfortunately, Glasspunk is not on Blur, so I couldn't make the purchase. So for now, I will not make the purchase. I will just watch the floor price go up and up. Not financial advice, but there's a lot of activity on Twitter about this project because the artist here, his name is Piv. Piv, I think, is what his handle is. Piv.
Yeah.
So here's his. So he made a post on the 24th, which the same shape as the Glasspunk, also the same shape as the CryptoPunk, but he did the Glasspunk project. And it seems to be the same art and design as the Jack Butcher project, which dropped on Friday. Friday? No, not Friday. Tuesday, maybe. Wednesday. Called Trademark. And then Jack Butcher and his partner Jaleel.eth made some references to it. So Jaleel.eth, he had a funny post because Piv said, "Don't get caught up in speculation. Jack is not involved in Glasspunk." And then Jaleel, his partner, wrote, "We are all involved," or VV are all involved, right? The visualized value. So we are all involved. We are all together. We are all one. And so it like creates this speculation, right? So the idea is that maybe there's some things happening with this Glasspunk project, and I wanted to get in on the action while I could for 0.03 ETH.
And maybe I'll try tomorrow and see.
We'll
I'll
just
try
sit
tomorrow
on
to
the
see if I can get
sideline.
one.
Miguel, do you know what time it is?
Artist of the week time.
Yeah, it is. Let's find that video. Bam. Have you ever heard of Jeremy Booth?
No.
Almost sounds like a made-up name.
It does.
I don't know. But Jeremy Booth, I came across his profile a couple days ago, and I got sucked in. You know why? Because I'm a sucker for Western art. As you know, as we have talked about with the Outlaws project, which we won't talk about anymore. But this guy does some really amazing Western work. So let's pull up his profile here. So this is Jeremy Booth. You can follow him on X at Jeremy Booth. Western Pop is his title here. And let's find a picture here for you. So here is a picture of his art.
That's cool.
And, yeah, beautiful colors, really, really nice designs here.
Yeah.
He does paintings, and then he also does digital art, but he sells these paintings. So you can see just this incredible collection that he has. If you go over to his website, you'll see some more of his work here. So we're at jeremy-booth.com. He's got digital art, paintings, prints, and just the style. I love it. There's a lot happening in every picture. It's very dynamic. Here's one of a guy shooting. Here's one of a guy on a horse. Here's one
action pictures. It looks
action picture. Yeah. Guys in front of a car. There's a guy on a bull on one of them. Here's a female getting ready to shoot. Here's a guy smoking a cigarette in his car. But you get the motif of it. But it's just really nice. It's really, really pleasant to look at.
Yeah,
and really
very
well
shadowy.
done.
I like it.
Yeah, he doesn't have much for sale other than on his super rare. But if you go to his website, you go to paintings, everything here is an actual painting, but it's not available for sale. What is cool is if you go onto his x.com profile and the pinned tweet there from October 16th, it's called The Making and Final Reveal of Over the Ridge. And we'll play it without, I don't think the audio will come through. You can see him doing the painting on a very large canvas. See that?
Wow.
So just the detail, the color, and you're just watching the work. It's really cool. It's a short 38-second video, but definitely recommend checking it out. He's also on Instagram at Jeremy Booth. I think maybe we'll reach out to him after this and just see if we can talk to him, because he's covering a bunch of different mediums. I'd love to just kind of hear a little bit more about where this comes from. He's based out of Kentucky, but I really, really like his style.
Yeah, I like it. I like the shadows that he uses for his artwork.
Yeah. There you go. So give him a follow.
Like it. Yeah.
Miguel, you had some toilet thoughts?
I did, man. So you know how Procreate Dreams came out?
I do know how Procreate Dreams came out. That happened last week.
Yeah, it came out last week. I was very excited, just waiting for it since the announcement. So I am thinking, right, that what if we do a short animation of the ants, kind of like walking the
The Jeremy's.
pets? Yeah. How
Yeah,
cool would
I
that
love it.
be?
I think that's the perfect platform to do it, and I'd love to see what even a version of that would look like. A short clip,
Yeah.
10 seconds, 20 seconds, just to kind of see what you can come up with on first go.
Yeah, so Procreate Dreams is pretty easy to use. I've been playing around with it for just a few minutes or so, not much, but it seems pretty easy to use. So I think I'm gonna dab into it. Not yet because I really want to finish V2. So I need to find the time to really work on Procreate Dreams. But I think it's something that I really want to do and dabble into the animation part. I think that that's my next step is to go full into animation. What do you think?
I think it makes sense to learn how to do that, right? That platform is going to be incredibly powerful, incredibly useful on top of what you do in Procreate already. And I think, we have such good content already to draw from to say, hey, let me try and animate something, right? So
Yeah,
a million stories that we could tell with our art, which we've always talked about doing that one day. But I think this is a good first step to just say, hey, what can I make these things move? Can I tell a story here? Can I put some music to it? Can I create a bit of a vibe here? And hopefully we can find our own unique voice in that. Not pudgy penguins, not cool cats, not claynosaurs, just our own thing.
yeah. It's just tough because it's just you and I doing this, right? So sometimes finding the time to do things and learn things is a little crazy. Like I started doing all the art classes again,
Yeah,
just to get a refresh and get some new pointers. But that took a long time. There's still some classes that haven't finished yet, so I really want to finish that first because dabbing into coloring 3D, right?
wow.
I still want to learn like 3D full art. So um, yeah, that's the next step too.
Yeah, I love it. And like you said, it's just us two. And I had texted you a couple of weeks ago, and then again earlier this week, saying, "Hey, I think we need to like rebrand whatever Rebel Ants is, right? Because it's so much more than what the first version was that we put out. We put out V1 of Rebel Ants, then we added the podcast, then we added Jeremy Pets. Now we're doing V2. Now we're going to add the V3 3D art. We're going to have these animations. So it's really growing into much more. We've always said we're just trying to be like a digital media company, right? We have digital
Right.
art, we have digital collectibles, we have digital content. So how do we better represent that with a logo, with branding, with followed by marketing? So I've already been thinking of a new website layout and just a way to kind of tell our story a little bit differently. I was playing around with some different fonts and colors. Here, let me share my screen real fast just to kind of.
Oh, I'm getting a preview.
No, it was really
Oh,
just where I was starting at. I've been thinking about this idea of a lot. This like this dark background with a lighter color of the same color.
hmm
So like a dark green with a light green as the foreground, so background foreground, or a dark blue background with a light blue foreground. I like the contrast. I like the feeling like it's kind of warm, but something about the green is the first thing that came to me when I was thinking about redoing things. And I know we use
yeah,
green with Rebel Ants Radio, but this would be a separate way to visualize that. But it could be really any set of colors with just a dark foreground and a dark background and a light foreground. And then I was just, one of my favorite things to do is just like find new fonts to see if I get like a vibe for that. So I was just playing around with just typing Rebel Ants, some of them in capitalized, some of them not. Something I liked about this font here that's called HK Grotesque, the way that the letters have a lot of good symmetry to them. And then I was thinking like, okay, what if we like combine them to make them like really close? Like I feel like there's something cool you could do, and then like elongate this L into like a longer line to separate Rebel and Ants, but
yeah,
still keep it all connected the way you can see the L is connected there. I feel like there could be something cool with that to kind of like, I don't know, keep it almost as like a blended word. But what I didn't want anything artsy to like the type that we use now. It's a little too playful in a sense that like it's hard to replicate that. It's more of a display font because you really shouldn't be doing like paragraph text with that. So I was just trying to find a text or a font type family that was just a little bit more serious and a little more familiar. So this one I liked as well. This is called Sora, and I
mhm,
like the way that these letters looked and the way that they blended together. Some of these ink traps over here, the B and the A. Sorry, the B and the
Yeah.
A I liked. And then I liked this one. I like a lot. It was like it's very piratey, but I like it. I don't know why I like it. It's going against what I'm looking for, but I just like the way that it looks. This is called I Am Fell, which is named after the author who like actually created this font before computers. And then you got Gilroy up here, which is just a very nice balanced font. And there's something about the thickness of it that I like. And I don't foresee it as a serif font that we would use to display our name, meaning it has like the extra ligatures at the end, but still just playing around, still just exploring and kind of saying, what do I like? What don't I like? See if we can kind of come up with a new way to represent ourselves that encompasses everything. But what I do think we need is some sort of iconography to wrap up like the ants, right? Like the mutants have the skull, right?
Right.
The pudgy penguins have the igloo. I think we need something. I think we need some sort of icon for who we are as the ants, and maybe it's taking something that we already have or creating something new. I don't know yet, but I do think that would help us to have a visual presence.
Yeah, it makes sense. I like it. Let me think about what we can do.
Yeah, and I'm playing with the names.
Yeah,
the fonts.
I like it. I like the idea of rebranding because we're just so much now, right?
Yeah, we've
and it's only been 1 year, Kevin. It's only been 1 year.
And just two people. Imagine if we had full-time jobs as this and we had a team. We'd be unstoppable.
Yeah. Just imagine us in 5 years from now.
5 years, wow.
Or 4 years from now.
4 years, wow. What do you think the price of Bitcoin will be in 4 years? Go.
65.
65?
65, 70.
That's not encouraging. That's like not even a new all-time high. You don't think in 4 years we'll be at a new all-time high?
No.
I'm going to say 100. I'm going to say 100. You can...
In 4 years?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think we'll be close. I think we'll be close to... This year we'll probably be close to the 40, 42s. Another year, 50s. Another year, 60s.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Well, I think that wraps up some of the activity that had caught my attention for this week. Again, it was a holiday week, so there wasn't so much happening, but definitely want to share some of those things happening on the marketplaces that I saw, and was really excited to share the news about NYCNFT, which we will both be at, and I hope to see some of our friends that we've met over the last year there as well.
Yeah. You know what would be cool if we're able to actually interview the artists there and show it up live. That would be cool.
Yeah, we should definitely figure out a mobile setup and let's interview some people, right? Maybe we can get a mock, impromptu booth somewhere and just kind of have people come by and talk to us.
Maybe there's somebody I can reach out to. So let me reach out to somebody and see if that's something that's possible.
Yeah, I like that idea. Well, thank you to our friends for watching and listening. Head over to rebelants.io where you can mint a Rebel Ant. You can find all of our links to YouTube and X and Instagram. Give us a subscribe on our channel. Follow us on x.com at Rebel Ants. And you can also listen to the audio version on podcasts, whatever your favorite podcast streaming player is. Just real fast, I was watching an interview with someone who was like one of the founders, the godfathers of podcasting. And he was being interviewed by two younger people, probably like half my age. And when he talked about where the word podcast came from, their minds were blown. And I was like, yeah, how do you not know that it comes from the first version really of what a podcast was on the iPod, which is now an extinct thing. And I know that podcasts use RSS feeds to work, and RSS feeds existed before the iPod, but the iPod became like a really easy way to access podcasts, which is how I started listening to them. So it was just funny that it's like, we use this word podcast. It has such a broad use now, but like we forget where it comes from, the iPod, which is now extinct. So go get your iPod, see what music you have on there on your 500 gig iPod, and send us a screenshot. All right, Miguel. Talk to you next week.
Peace.
Bye.
Good night, everybody.